I've heard before that a little bit of information can be a dangerous thing. And I kind of saw an example of that this evening. I posted a product on my Facebook page, and it's something that I've been using for 2 years. And I'd posted it prior, but there's a Amazon Prime sale right now, so I thought I would post it again. When I posted it about a year ago, I saw the post in my history. When I posted it about a year ago, people were saying, "Oh, that sounds great. I'll try it." And, you know, comments along that line. But this time when I posted it, the first two comments were something that, "Oh, that's the worst product you could ever use." And another one said, "I thought this makes your hair fall out. It's a conditioner." And I thought, well, that's weird because I sort of remember seeing something about a year ago along those lines that people were saying that it made their hair fall out and whatnot. And I looked into it at that time, and it was not this product, it's a conditioner, but it was a hair oil by the same company. I didn't really look into it anymore because I'm just not super interested in that kind of thing. I had already been using it for a year and I thought it was wonderful, so I kept using it. But then after the first two comments were that, I thought, well, I'll look into that a little more. And I Googled, and boy, did I find some stuff. So basically, I can give you the whole story so you can see the whole thing. It's just so, what I'm, taking away from this is so much bigger than just a product or, something being on sale. And I didn't intend any of that. So I'll give you the whole story. So in 2014, a lady named Monique Rodriguez started her own hair products because she was having some difficulty with hair falling out and breaking and whatnot. So she started making her own hair products. She's a registered nurse at the time. And she makes the stuff and she's sharing recipes on social media. And I don't know the exact thing. This is from, major deep dive Google, but just tonight. So I don't know everything or everyone's names. She starts making this stuff, sharing recipes. Everyone loves it. It has a slow grow, and then people are buying it. She starts manufacturing, making it in bottles. And it's this organic hair care. There's a hair oil, there's a shampoo, conditioner, leave-in, whatnot. So she's doing really well with it, and it's helping a lot of people. And then, so that was 2014. So then it's kind of a slow growth up to more recently. And by slow, I mean, she was successful no matter what. But I think it was 2022 or 2023. No, it was 2023 because I was kind of looking at the dates, like when I use it or not. So it's successful enough that in 2023, Procter & Gamble makes an offer and they purchase the line, but with the agreement that the formulation is not going to change, and her husband are still going to be the head of this product line. And there's more now besides the original ones. There's several different lines within the line. So she sells it and super successful, and she's still the head of it and, covering everything. So then an influencer, I don't know if the influencer was paid or if they just happened to really love the product, but they made a post about it on their TikTok in about a year ago. And so tons of people, like the influencer had like 3 million followers or something. Her name's Alex Earl. She had like 3 million followers and tons of people purchased it. A lot of people, I'm assuming, had never heard about it before. So they all purchased it. And shortly thereafter, people started sharing what they thought about the product, the good, the bad, and the terrible. So a lot of people were posting that it's making their hair fall out and it's coming out in clumps and this is the worst thing ever. And then there was an Instagram video by the founder where, she's expressing her dismay at all this, obviously. And I saw some other things that maybe there was some competitors that were seeding negative reviews, something along those lines. I think what really happened is too bad because we only know what we know in front of us at the time, right? So for most people, they would have only seen, how do I say this? If you had been using the product any time before that TikTok post, like me, you have your own experience with the product. And it was the hair oil that people were saying was really great and then really terrible and whatnot. I don't use the hair oil. I never have. I've used the conditioner. I tried the shampoo, but it wasn't right for my hair. But I love the conditioner, and I've been using it for over 2 years. So I already had my own experience with the product that I use, and I continue using it. I continue telling people about it. It's great. If you have perimenopause or menopause and you have hair falling out, it stopped my hair from falling out completely. And I bought it. I made a screenshot of I bought it 10 times from Amazon, a couple other times from other places, but this is what I'm going to use. I ran out once and I tried something else and my hair started falling out. But anyway, I 100% know that my hair is not going to fall out when I use this. And being now full in menopause in 2 years. So I already know this. So even if someone said, this is terrible, never try it, never use it, that's not my experience. And I already knew about it before that. But, okay, let's make up some numbers. Say 100,000 people tried it. And 1,000 people, if people were trying it based on the fact that it helps your hair to grow and it prevents hair from falling out, they already have problems, those people, with their hair falling out. Not everything's going to work for everyone. There could even be certain ingredients that don't mesh well with certain medications and make problems worse. You don't know. But let's say 1,000 people in a very short amount of time of that 100,000 had really terrible, their hair fell out in clumps and it was all this stuff. For whatever reason, the mix of the product was something else, or just the product didn't agree with them. I mean, nothing's going to be perfect for everyone. So those people then are like, oh my gosh, because their expectation was here, that this is the best stuff, exactly what you need. And it makes their problem that they already had worse. So their expectation and their hopes were way up high. So they're more likely in that major disappointment to post online and show pictures. Like there was a picture of a lady with a big clump of hair in her hand. She's like, never use this. It's such a scam and all this stuff, So that's going to be probably that's the biggest disparity. That's the biggest difference. Let's use a word I understand. That's the biggest difference between expectations and reality for those people. So they're going to have the most passion, and it's an angry, negative passion. Valid, because it really did happen to them. I don't think that, it could have happened too, but I think they were telling the truth about what happened to them. So if they then say, this was terrible, don't ever use it. If you're a person who has heard about it and not yet tried it, and you see, like say there's 1,000 and you see 40 or 50 of them, you're probably never going to try it, because the only thing you know about it is these 40 or 50 like absolute horror stories of the worst that can happen. So what if then of that 100,000, there's 99 or 98,000 who had a pretty good experience with it? Not bad enough to make a big blasting negative review, but not like so miraculous that they felt so empowered and impassioned, if that's a word, to write about their wonderful experience. And that leaves about 1,000 then who, for whatever reason, maybe they're just absolutely love it. I mean, people don't generally post videos about something they absolutely love, but maybe there's influencers or, different people. So those 1,000 are like influencers and other people that post reviews, and they have different page sizes and whatnot. But then people may say, oh, well, they're getting paid to say that, as if what they're saying isn't true, and they're only saying it because they're getting paid, that it is that terrible product. They're only getting paid. But do you see what I mean about how of that actual 100,000 people, the amount of information coming to you about what's true and what's reality is based on such a small number. And of that small number, in general, the passionate response is probably going to be more negative than the passionate positive response. So it's going to seem so much more negative than it really is. Isn't that wild? So anyway, that's the long story of it. But I was just thinking about how many other things that we've never heard anything about them before, whether it's political or not, or, some country or this or that, never heard anything about it before. And then the only information that we have is a small, passionately negative amount of information. And we have to not, if possible, let that form our opinions, especially when it comes to people. That's kind of the big thing of it. And honestly, if I hadn't tried this 2 years ago and I hadn't been using it ever since, if I'd never even heard of it and all of a sudden heard it's the greatest thing but hadn't bought it, and then saw like 50 really terrible reviews, I wouldn't buy it. I also would be like, well, shoot, if it can do that, I'm not even going to try it. I wouldn't care what it costs. Like, I wouldn't want my hair to all fall out and my scalp to be burning and itching. So anyway, the product, I do have it to show you regardless. It's Miele Rosemary Mint Blend Strengthening Conditioner. I know what it is. I just don't know the exact words. Again, I've been using the conditioner for 2 years and my hair was falling out from perimenopause and now fully through menopause, and it's not, I'll show you, I guess. I don't know what it's not going to do. Zero hair came out. Like, I used to do this and I would get a small handful. There's one. And so, I have long hair, and to be able to do that, like this for me, I'm one of those top, like whatever percent that absolutely loves it and would recommend it to anyone. I've told friends about it. That's all I want to use. I won't use anything else. It makes it shiny. And so it has infused with biotin, encourages longer, healthier hair. And for me, the rosemary mint conditioner, I haven't tried the leave-in. I have no need for it because my hair is pretty fine. So this is enough conditioning for me. I haven't tried the leave-in. I haven't tried the oil. I don't even know what it's exactly for. Again, I had no need for it. And I did try the shampoo, and for my hair, it was too heavy with the conditioner. So I just use a different shampoo. But I absolutely love it. And I would recommend, if anyone, especially with, if you try different things, if you like, it's natural, organic. And I would recommend trying it. But I would say, because there's a small percentage, but this is with anything, because there's a small percentage of people that had really horrible results, I would say, if you try it, it's not very expensive at all, like $10. But if you try it, get a little dollop of it and put it like on the back of your scalp and just leave that there for a day. Because I would think, if you have any kind of major negative reaction, that's what they do, the spot test, where they say to put any new lotion or anything, put a little bit on the inside of your elbow and leave it for 24 hours. But like, who does that, But for the sensitivity, I would think that if you do that and you don't have any reaction to it, then you're probably going to be not of that small percentage of people that had a terrible reaction. I feel awful for them. And I would feel awful for them even more if they were genuinely trying, they're genuinely upset and genuinely trying to communicate with people that this is something that can happen, and then being accused of like working for someone or being accused of lying when they were just sharing, maybe some people are doing that, but the other people, they were actually, harmed. So I just think less judgment, more compassion for everyone. And I was thinking too about the owner, that she's built this, this is 10, well now 11 years, that from her kitchen, from the ground up, with the intention and the actions and being so diligent and building this company over years and years. And she has this big success, and she's making sure that everything is still how she wants it to be and that it's a great product. And then to have all of a sudden out of nowhere this big negative wave that, she had been 2 years ago, she'd been doing it at the time for 9 years. So for her, I have a lot of compassion, because it's like she, against the odds, had this great success with a great product that's helped so many people. And then to have that kind of negative backlash must have been terrible. Anyway, there's so much more. If you would like to share any of your thoughts, I would love to hear them. I know this is a little longer video than I intended, but I do think, for the bigger picture, it's something that we should keep in mind, that if you've never heard of something before, and then you hear something real great and then something real terrible, maybe just take a step back, whatever it is. Because, again, as I said at the beginning, a little bit of information could be a dangerous thing. And it can probably cause you to be in favor of something, and it can probably cause you to be totally against something based on the small amount of truth that you saw in front of you. Food for thought. Thank you so much. Bye.